Ladies and gentlemen, India is in dire straits. The unemployment level in the country has reached 6.1%, the gravest figures we've heard of in the last 45 years. The situation is even worse when it comes to women, as over one-fourth of the urban female population in the country is unemployed. Furthermore, while US and China's unemployment rates stay way below 4%, India's, as mentioned earlier, soars over 6%. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Viraj Gandotra, a management student at the Indian School of Business, and today we have with us four more students from ISB coming in from very diverse backgrounds and perspectives, and they are going to shed some light upon what they think are the root causes of the unemployment problem in India and how they feel the same can be resolved. To introduce the panel to you, we have Rishi Garg, who comes in with 6 solid years of experience as a planning and operations manager at the Reliance Industries. Next, we have Anusha Gangasani, who is working as a technical consultant with IBM. Then we have Aishwarya Mohan, who comes in with 3 years of experience as a data analyst. And finally, we have Amitabh Balabalkar, who is here, as he likes to put it, to transform himself from the airborne to the chairborne. So Rishi, to begin this discussion with you, how do you feel the government should intervene to solve this problem?
Because that's a very good question. In my opinion, stimulating the economic growth should be the starting point. It is one of the key factors, but it should be the starting point. Currently, India is witnessing a huge slowdown into the manufacturing sector. Manufacturing sector is the second largest employer in the country. We have seen that the manufacturing sector's growth has declined by 9 percentage points within last 3 quarters. Sector has seen decline in investment because of shrinkage in agriculture. Further, export is another area of concern. India contributes only 1.67% to world exports, whereas our neighbor China contributes 13.72%. If you may ask why the government should stimulate the economic growth, it is so because government investment into economy will push the various projects. Major key concern would be major key factor would be the investment infrastructure projects. These projects will generate huge direct jobs. Further, it will have a trickle-down effect on the economy, which will further increase a lot of service-related jobs. Focus should be on exports, as exports creates high-paying jobs and bring forex into the economy.
Sure, I understand your point, but how should the government actually stimulate the economy?
Yeah, government should stimulate economy by improving the private investment, by encouraging the private investment. And when we are talking about employment, it should be in the job creation base. The government should give GST incentives, various SEZ-related tax incentives, but it should be related to the target base. For example, government, as per the NITI report, government should push for GST and tax incentive rebate for 5 years if the company creates 10,000 jobs per annum. Further, to improve exports, government should bring about developing the coastal economies, allow free foreign investment with flexible land and labor policies. This will improve the foreign investment for the export-based economy and it will create a lot of jobs for people.
Sure, absolutely, point taken. So Amitabh, Rishi feels that there is a need to stimulate the economy, right? What do you think the government should do?
Yeah, Viraj, I think the nature of unemployment differs according to the level of economic development of a country. India is a developing economy, mostly rural. Hence, the rural unemployment mostly related to the agriculture sector as to the unemployment in the country. According to the 2011 census, 68% of Indians live in villages. And although 50% of India's population is involved in agriculture, the overall contribution of agriculture towards GDP is only 17%. If the government can tackle this unemployment, the overall unemployment will certainly reduce.
Fair. So I understand that there's an issue with the agriculture sector, but what exactly is the problem? What is this unemployment in the sector?
So in the agricultural sector, there are basically two types of unemployment. First is the seasonal unemployment. So the farmers only work for certain months in a year. Experts say the farmers are idle almost 5 to 7 months in a year. So because sowing and harvesting does not take throughout the entire year, this is called as seasonal or perennial unemployment. The second type is the underemployment or the disguised unemployment. In this, there are more number of workers, labor or farmers working on a particular farm. So if you reduce a portion of these farmers, the output of the farm still remains the same. So because of these two types of unemployment, the unemployment ratio in the country rises. There are ways and means of tackling this. One of the ways of tackling this is having more SMEs, that is the food processing plants, which smoothens the demand for the agricultural output throughout the year, as well as provides alternative employment to the farmers. Another aspect is introduction of technology in the agricultural sector. There are many other such ways by which the government can tackle the rural unemployment in the country.
So, Anusha, we've heard Amitabh and Rishi speak. What do you feel? How should the government act to solve the problem of unemployment?
Sure, Viraj. In my view, skill gap is one of the main reasons for structural unemployment. It affects our nation in terms of active and passive unemployment. Active refers to that proportion of people who are not working due to lack of skills. It's been observed in India that the proportion of students who can perform subtraction in class 3 has reduced from 39% to 26% in just 5 years. And the other type of unemployment, being passive, referred to as disguised unemployment, is a set of people who are working in mismatched jobs. We can see that various jobs like teachers, judges, defense are unfilled right now. India needs about 10 crore additional people by 2022, and 30 crore people in existing workforce require upskilling. So if the skill gap is reduced, there's a huge chance that we'll be able to reduce our unemployment by making people employable.
Fair, I understand that upskilling is required, but how do you do this upskilling?
There are government initiatives which are already in place working on upskilling. And along with government, there are many private institutions working on that. But how many of us know about Udacity or Safe Education? My point is that awareness is a one point which is missing here, and efforts have to be made to reach out to the grassroots level about this initiatives or any other upskilling initiatives. Now, along with this, government has to improve the budget allocation for education and skill development from current 3.3% to 6% as directed by DTI. And government should increase the placement of number of skilled people from 50% to 80%. And it should adapt the National Achievement Survey by 2020 to restore the learning output in primary education. So this is how a skill gap can be reduced, and which helps the reduction of unemployment.
So, Aishwarya, finally coming to you, what do you think the government should work upon to solve this issue?
Building on what you mentioned earlier, Ramesh, the percentage of women in the labor force has declined by 33% over the past 10 years. And today, only 25% of our workforce is comprised of women. I believe it is the need of the hour to increase the percentage of women in the workforce so as to reduce the disparity between the participation of men and women, and ultimately to increase the overall household income. As the above changes are implemented, the overall consumption and savings would be stimulated, the economy would grow, and thereby we would have more jobs available for general.
Fair, I absolutely understand what you're saying, but how do you go about increasing the participation of women in the economy?
So there are two possible ways of improving on this issue. The first one would be to incentivize households with tax breaks for all their women wage earners. This would help overcome the pressures of the patriarchal structures of our society today, and it would bolster the requirement for women in the workforce. The second avenue we can follow is to enforce a mandatory maternity leave structure, allowing for an option for women to take up to 6 months of maternity leave, and simultaneously also to enforce a compulsory 3-month paternity leave as well. The simultaneous enforcement of both the maternity and paternity leave structures would help minimize some of the biases associated with working mothers in the economy today.
Sure, so I understand that there's a need to upskill people, there's a need to bring more women in the workforce, but we are just making more people employable. What about the jobs that already don't exist? Once these people become employable, how do you provide jobs for them?
Yeah, I understand your concern regarding how employability is related to unemployment reduction or increasing the number of jobs in the nation. See, the development of relevant skills is an important instrument for improving productivity and unlocking new opportunities, which in turn opens doors to economic growth. With skill gap match and therefore new avenues for employment will be created through innovation.
Go.
Adding on to Anusha's point, entrepreneurs are national assets that we need to cultivate and motivate. If successful, their businesses have the potential to generate wealth and create a lot of additional jobs as well. They also regularly support other like-minded individuals in their entrepreneurial ventures, which lead to further growth in our ecosystem.
So, Rishi and Amitabh, to close this discussion with you guys, what do you think the ideal figure is? What should the unemployment rate of India be?
I personally feel it should be capped at 3%. There are countries, highly developed countries like the Scandinavian countries who have it around or less than 3%. And India has got plethora of jobs coming in. There is a lot of job opportunities in the country. I think it should be capped at 3%.
I have a slightly different view. In my opinion, India can afford to have slightly higher unemployment as compared to China and US, which we are benchmarking with. Because India has a lot of space to cover in agriculture and manufacturing sector.